Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty fancy. I had, well, I've been up since, 6, so I've had a couple cups of coffee. So I'm ready to go.
There you go. There
Um,
you go.
yeah. So you okay. So I want to get this right. So you just came in on structured sound, is that right?
Yeah. I've known the guys for a while. Have rehearsed with them for in the past. But recently they decided they wanted. They gave me a call and asked me what my flavor would be for coming into the band and singing some rock and roll. So I was thrilled because I love those guys. I consider them great friends for the last couple years, and so I was really looking forward to the opportunity. And for me, music's kind of therapy. It's one
Right.
of those things you play music, you sing music, whatever, you just feel better. And
Yes.
when you're busy being a corporate guy from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, and then raising kids and whatever, when you get a free moment to yourself, that you can actually exhale and let it all out. That's
I
kind of
think
like
you
my
just said my
my
whole
vehicle.
life story in one sentence. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great, dude. I mean, that is what we strive for with our interview process too. I'm not mean to like cut you off, but
Yeah.
bringing the artist out and celebrating them, so then that way they, and I've been talking to several artists actually and encouraging other artists to come out as well, to the interview process and support everybody in town. um because it's not like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
I was little, we used to go up to PA to see my dad, and we would go to the local Moose Lounge, right? And when artists came there, I mean, it was crazy because we were small kids. And
Yeah.
back then, my dad would go and get drunk and listen to the music and play pool. And us kids, that's when they had like the Pac-Man on the counter. You know what I mean? Like that big
Yeah.
ass
Yeah.
box. So the lady
Yep.
would give us sodas and crackers, and we'd sit there and play pool and listen to the bands and stuff. But like everybody would come out, like, and support
Yeah.
everybody, like every artist. Like it was a big group thing.
Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't pardon my French, but there was no big dick energy. Like I'm better than you, you're better than me. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it was really nice, and that's what I strive to get back towards. You know what I mean? So that's the goal.
It's funny you mentioned Pennsylvania. I'm actually originally from Pennsylvania,
Are you?
and nothing screams Pennsylvania like the Moose Lodge and playing pool at the Moose Lodge. That is so,
We
especially
have one.
my little tiny towns in Western Pennsylvania, like nothing. That's so Pennsylvania. So
It
it's hilarious to
is.
bring it up.
It is. And it was downtown Pittsburgh yet. So like,
I grew up in the outskirts.
see, I got married a few years back, divorced now, but long story short, my ex-husband lives in Jamestown, PA. So
Okay.
it was like Amish country there. So like when I moved there, I was thinking that it was going to be like downtown Pittsburgh, and I got there and I'm like, what the hell is this? This
Eat
looks like
apple butter and buttermilk, and seeing barns raised, yeah, and wooden furniture, yeah. That's a big difference from Jamestown to Pittsburgh. It's a massive difference. And
yes.
by the way, since you bring up Amish country, if you haven't watched the show Banshee, if you haven't streamed that show, because it takes place in Amish country, but it's off the chain crazy.
I'm gonna
uh
have to
it,
write that
it
down.
is
Banshee.
absolutely a must watch.
Oh, well, hold on. I'm putting it in my phone right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Banshee. Banshee. All right, here we go.
Not for the faint of heart. I will say that if you're easily offended, that's not the show to watch. But it's
Well,
awesome.
right now we're in the middle of Vikings, so
Oh, then you'll love Banshee.
uh, Josh
Vikings is
is giving me the 411 on like the whole Viking like religion. Well, I guess it's not. I don't know if it's a religion. Would it be a religion? Is that what it would be considered?
culture, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Or just way of life. I don't
Yeah,
I don't rightfully know. But like how the show is different than real life, he kind of studies and that kind of stuff. So it's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
it is different. Ragnar was very different in real life than he. I actually did the same thing. I started researching Ragnar, the main character of Vikings, when I watched the show, and like there was different reports, but one of the reports is that he died from dysentery, which is like essentially dying from pooping yourself. You pooped yourself to death. And like, my friend is like one of the Renaissance guys, and he's really into that kind of stuff. And he dresses up in all the Viking gear, and he's amazing at it. But I shot him a message. Hey, wouldn't it have been awesome if the show would have ended like this? And I sent him the screenshot of how they said he died. He's like, no, it wouldn't have been. He got all serious on me, and then he's like, you're ridiculous. Onward and upward. So, but he
Jeffrey,
yeah, and going through Facebook, they do the advertisements for whatever they want to pitch at the time. And they have those big, giant, steel-bladed knives or whatever. I'm like, I gotta have one of those. So when I received it, I'm like, look, guys, I'm gonna name this knife Ragnar. I tell my 3 boys. So every time we get ready to cook, I'm like, break out Ragnar. We're gonna chop some stuff.
I bet he's loving this right now. Jeffrey Staus, the lead singer of Free Agent, said Nordic way of life.
Yeah, I
love that.
Good call, Jeff.
Yeah, I got like his little beads in my hair too. I don't know if you can see that. But
yeah,
it's weird. Anyway, his little, he's all into that stuff, so I think it's pretty cute. And I don't know, me personally, I'm very witchy, so I mean, same kind of, but not really.
Who's your favorite character on that show?
What's his name? Okay, so Floki, is that it? The witchy guy? Yeah. So like when we first started watching it, Josh was like, so everybody says I'm Floki. And I'm like, so I automatically put more attention towards him than to anybody. And it's just super funny because just the way he acts and the way he does it's freaking hilarious.
You realize that that's one of the Skarsgård brothers that plays Floki, and his brother is the guy that played Pennywise in the new It movies.
What?
Yeah. They're a whole family of actors, but his brother's the guy that plays Pennywise, Floki's brother in real life.
I think he told me that. Isn't there like 7 of them or something?
Yeah. There's a whole truckload of them.
I can't remember. He said something. I have a very bad memory, so that's why I carry notes all the time.
I've had 5 sports concussions, so memory is kind of a moving target for me.
Trust me, I understand. I did a lot of experimental stuff when I was younger, so my brain is just not. It's not at what it's up to par to be. I mean, I would probably put like a Snoop Dogg in my range.
Fair enough.
I mean, but he is a smart guy. I mean, if you've actually, done anyway.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go over some Polk County news, but first I want to touch on like the artist of the day. So the artist of the day, I don't know if you remember, but do you remember the band, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs or the Yeah Yeah Yeahs?
I know of them. Yeah, I can't place the song though.
So the lead, the guitarist in the band, Nick Zenner, he was born in 1974, and today is his birthday. This is, I don't know if you could see this. Do you remember that sound? I know you remember that sound. That's what reminded me of it.
Yeah.
So it's that guy's birthday, not her. Where is it? That guy.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah, it's ringing a bell now.
Anyway, it's that guy's birthday. Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday.
So Polk County news. So yesterday I kind of touched base on weird news. I've been doing weird news. So but then yesterday it kind of, I don't know. I thought it was super hilarious, but It really wasn't. There was a guy who was like biting someone's face, and he got like sentenced the other day. He like killed this couple and was like eating on their face and stuff. I'm like, dude, and he got the mental plea. Like, how do you get a mental plea on that? Like, I don't understand that. You get caught eating someone's face and then you get a mental plea? Like, come
I
on.
mean, you have to. If someone's willing to chomp on someone's face, you really have to question their sanity. But also
Right.
there has to be accountability, like regardless of whether you're, you know,
So we just
schizo, not
decide
taking
to.
no light of people with mental illness or mental challenges, but there still has to be accountability. Someone still got impacted by their actions.
That part. See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I get that you have, I mean, a mental whatever, but actions are actions. And
Right.
I mean, so we're gonna waste our tax dollars to put this guy in a mental hospital for the rest of his life. And if he
Yeah.
sees to get better, he gets to go to prison where we which pay for him to stay there too. Like,
Yeah.
why not just like, send him to Texas on that expedite line? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone to a place where you look at society, and I think at this point the world lacks accountability, regardless. Like for actions like this, hell, look at every single politician. I'm not going to get political because I really don't care for the topic too much, but
I
I don't
don't
really care
either.
what I don't care what party you're in. If you do
That
something
part.
wrong, be accountable.
That
Be held
part.
accountable. You're not above the law. I mean, if me or you did it, we'd be in some kind of orange jumpsuit somewhere, in a very uncomfortable place, and
Yes.
and no one should be above the law. And regardless of what your politics are, this even goes to raising children. I'm old school. I have 3 boys, that range from the age of 21 to 11, and pretty much raised them by at least the 2 oldest boys. I pretty much the last half of their life I've raised them pretty much solo,
Right.
and it's old school manners. It's old school, morals and values. You look at someone in the eye when you shake their hand. You look at someone in the eye when you talk to them. You hold doors open, for people. You say please. You say thank you. You say excuse me. You say bless you. You do the right thing. You be a good human being first.
That part.
I've always told my kids, do the right thing, act with positive intent, work really hard, and you'll get really far in life.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
Yeah. I mean,
And they are.
in general, I mean, I have 6 in my home, so I understand. Only 3 are
Wow.
mine, but
Okay.
mine are 11, 5, and almost to be 3. She's 2 at the moment. But then
Yeah.
I also have another 2-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 21-year-old in my house. So it's you know, the number one thing I stress is everybody fucks up. Everybody is literally going to make a mistake. I mean, several times. You're not even just going to make this mistake once. You're going to make it
Yeah.
quite a few times. But the most important thing is to be humble throughout it. And
Yeah.
even though you make a mistake, you learn each time and
There
each
you go.
and and be polite doing it, be treat people how you want to be treated and don't judge people for being different.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that the world is missing today is not just just be happy and do what
Right.
you want. So many people could judge me for having dreads, or so many people could, look down on me for doing, but do I care? No, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a
If you
rat's
if you
ass.
spend so much time caring about what other people think of you, you're gonna stifle your own progress. Like we could sit here and dwell on what other people think about us all day long. Do
Mhm.
you do what makes you happy? And that's sometimes, when everyone has those times when they, hindsight's always, 2020, they say, and you look back and left, go, man, why did I wait so long to do that? Or man, I wish I woulda.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
there's no time like the present.
yeah, that's very true. I mean, I have a very, I am let's age myself here, 36 years old. So, right. And, I was always in the entertainment business, always was. 15 years, I was in the nightclub business. And then, going into, local bars, which, and then getting into the promoting aspect of it. But I didn't get thrown into the promoting aspect of it until I decided just to say screw it and do what I wanted to do that made me
Right.
happy. I mean, did I lose my job and end up in a hotel and homeless? Absolutely. But I recovered. You know what I'm saying? I recovered. I continued to do what I
Right.
loved, and I kept putting forth and giving things, and things were given in return. Jeffree Styles, the dude that just commented just a few minutes ago on Van Holla. I can't even say it right. I mean, I'm not even cool. But but he was like one of the very first bands. I'm not going to say the very first bands, but one of the very first bands that actually believed in me as a person, even though I didn't have the correct stuff behind me. As a friend, he stuck out his neck to help me and get me pushed into it.
That's
And
awesome.
he offered me a music family that, I won't, you can't never replace that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's very nice. It's very nice to be a part of, his world. And he just had back surgery, by the way, and supposed to be coming back New Year's Eve. I don't, that's the first show. You have to remind me all the time. You do. The first show, I think he's back. The first show for New Year's Eve. I'm sure he's watching and he'll comment and let me know where that's at. I believe it is. I don't remember. I don't remember where it's at.
A lot of commonality here. I actually had back surgery from a car accident several years ago as well, and it's it's a recovery process, but it does get better. Hopefully Jeffrey isn't worse off than I was, but yeah, I can relate.
I know he had quite a few things that were pretty messed up, but he has put forth a lot of effort and healing towards it. And I'm super excited for him. He had definitely got a little down there for a little bit because he was going through some personal stuff at home, and he ended up having to go through the surgery, alone. So
Tough.
he's a kick-ass dude though. And okay, yeah, New Year's Eve. Where's this at? Okay. Oh, the River's Edge Bar and Grill. That's where it's at.
Nice.
That's over there in Gibsonton, Florida, on Ohio Avenue. So he'll be rocking it out then. Yeah, I'm super happy for him. Hopefully he's going to try to make it to our single dads thing too as well.
That'd be awesome.
So Polk County news, just a little bit of an update for everybody. The Polk County commissioners rejected the racetrack over near Frostproof, just in case y'all want to know. A longtime Jewett music teacher Mildred Bennett Foster died at 83 this week. And Polk County construction jobs expected to decrease as economy slows down. Oh, and the Sun and Fun is back. Have you ever been out to the Sun and Fun?
Yeah. My youngest boy Landry, he's 11 now, but he's a World War II historian. He is 11 years old. Actually, this was at 8 and 9 years old. He was researching and watching videos on YouTube. But at the time we went out there because I believe the Blue Angels were supposed to be out there that year. They ended up having to cancel because I guess they had a crash, unfortunately. But we went out there and he was thrilled by all the military planes and helicopters and stuff that were there. And we had a blast out there that day. What a great event. And the cool thing about Sun and Fun is the fact that you don't have to fight the traffic like you do down at McDill when they have their air show
Right.
down in South Tampa, or that traffic's a nightmare. Sun and Fun is really accessible, and it's a good event. It's nice.
The I went out there and promoted a few times when I was in the nightclub industry. We would go out there and us girls would walk through the whole damn place. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And the them pilots, man, it's like that's a different atmosphere. I mean, it's like wine and cigars, but with rednecks. If that makes any sense whatsoever, because most of the gentlemen that are pilots out there are just good old boys, right? But they're rich good old boys. So they're just it's fun. It's fun. Anyway.
So wine and cigars with rednecks, isn't that more like Copenhagen and Budweiser for rednecks? That, you know, pilots might do the wine and cigars, but rednecks would do Copenhagen and Budweiser?
No, sir. No, sir. That's Lucky Strikes and Bush.
Oh, my bad.
Yes. I come from the deep loins of those roots.
Fair enough.
That would be. Here you go. Are you ready?
I won't question your expertise on that then. Oh, there you go. All right. Fair enough.
There's Bush in the fridge too. You want it?
Fair enough.
So I want to go into the music thing. So what I'm starting this today. Actually, today's the first day I'm doing this. So we're doing Polk County music news. All the musicians that follow me and watch the shows and stuff like that. What we're going to do is we're going to start announcing like their gigs on the day we do whatever. So if I see something, you know, or I post something announcing gigs on live morning show, you know, let me know where you're at and we'll promote you on the morning show. Jeffree Styles was the only one that commented on it since now. I mean, people have seen it and liked it. But Jeffree, again, so he will be out on New Year's Eve with Free Agent at the River's Edge Bar and Grill. And I guess that's in Riverview, he said. So the address says Gibsonton or whatever, but Riverview. Also, I looked up on Facebook and grabbed a few that I seen that were in my events, the same groups. So I got 3 of them that I researched. I'm not going to search for them all morning, but if they come to me, I will put them up here and I will say them. So we have Mark Milberg out at the Bay with karaoke from 5 to 9. So if you guys want to go out and sing, Mark will be out there today from 5 to 9. Go and give him a like and share and go sing with him. He's an awesome guy, runs a great karaoke thing out at the Bay. And the Bay has the famous rum runners. So we call it the Blackout Bay because if you have too many rum runners, you will black out. Yeah, I mean, it's great. But anyway, that's literally what they call it. And then they call it Holly Sears actually taught me this one. There's 3 bars in by the Bay. So the Bay is right here. Tanner's is over here and Old Man Frank's is right here. So they call it the Bermuda Triangle.
That is awesome. Whoever named that needs some kind of marketing award, or that's genius.
Oh, it is so funny. I'm like, what? And she's like, yes. And she's cracking up as she's telling me. So, you know, of course, I'm cracking up. Anyway, Mark Milberg will be out there from 5 to 9. Go get you a rum runner with Miss Nancy and see Mark out there. Tomorrow, Power Surge. Those are my buddies. They are Miss Samantha Martin and Anthony on the guitar and James on the drums. Anyway, they are a great set of guys. And they will be out at LA's Midway tomorrow at 7 p.m. So go to LA's. It's right over there off of 92 in Lynchburg, across from the Winter Haven Airport. So give them a shout out on that. And then this Sunday, back at Nancy's place at the Bermuda Triangle, the Bay, One-Eyed Jack will be out there playing. So they go on at 3 p.m. So if you want to see One-Eyed Jack, they're really good. Actually, I like them. The guy with the big spikes, he's awesome. I forget his name. but he's really cool. Anyway, uh, we have that single dads event coming up with you guys. You guys are going to come out to that too as well. We have that out at Leo's on the 17th of December. You guys will be taking stage from 6 to about 6:45. Now the times are going to be are going to fluctuate, so please do not stick to the times because we only have 4 bands. We have you guys, we have Ascending Radius with Miss Jennifer. They start around 7, and then the Rick Graham band. Rick Graham's a good buddy of mine. He threw a band together at last minute. He's fabulous freaking guitar player, even awesomer, if that's even a word, singer. And he'll be on a little bit longer from 8 to 9:45. And then we rock out the night with Love Pit. And Love Pit is a new upcoming rock metal band. And they are going to rock the socks off. And I'm super excited for that.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to being a part of it. We're working real hard, rehearsing and preparing. And we're really excited to be part of the event because, I spent, like I mentioned earlier about, raising my kids, single dads. I've been there. I've been there, done that. And a lot of times when you go through, the trials and tribulations of life, it requires a start over. It's an etch a sketch. Someone shook you, erased you, and you're starting over.
Yeah.
And so I can totally relate to that, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it, to help give back. And, especially at this time of year when, as a parent, you put the pressure on yourself to give your kids the very best you can give them. Yeah. And I know what that feels like personally. Yeah. I really, truly know what that feels like because, if there's one thing I do right in this life, it's create 3 good men.
Right.
And so, but you want to give them the world. And so I know that stress and like I said, to be a part of something like this. I know you did the same for single moms, which, yes. I know many single moms that went through the same battles that I went through. So just absolutely, I think it's amazing that Osmond Entertainment puts on stuff like this to give back because that's what it's all about.
I mean, it really, really is. I mean, I've been a single mom for 11 years. I mean, I do have a significant other now. But being a single parent in general, regardless if you're a female or a male, females have the more emotional side and males have more the strong hand. So it's and they can have both. Actually, men actually can trait both of them, and women too as well. But the thing of it is if you don't have one of those, raising children on your own, it not only hurts them, but it hurts you. And you just try to do the best that you can, the best way that you can. And it does mold them into be the people that they are. And I believe that when you go through something like that, you end up being an extraordinary person. And that I fully believe. I mean, my son is 11 and has his dad lives literally 3 minutes down the road. 3 minutes down the road, and never are we, is he important enough to visit or to see? So, it really hurts him in the inside to have that feeling, you know what I mean? And there's nothing that I can do to take that feeling away except for just to be, the best parent I can be. And the way I've described that is, maybe in time he'll come along. Maybe in time you guys will have that conversation. But today is not that day. It's not meant to be today. So you are meant to do this with me for right now. And later on, we'll focus on that time later. And he's okay with that. And, I think that he does crave to have that type of person in his life. And one day he will, it's hard. Financially, it's hard. Emotionally, it's hard. Yeah. So if I could give a day, with our moms that we made it about the kids because, normally I'm not trying to go off on, be sexist, but normally, it's single women, because, moms normally, um, uh, moralistically don't leave. We're stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I wouldn't say stuck, but that's a bad word. But you see where I'm going. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, so like I wanted to do like a kid event for them and to have it out, and the single dads too, but I kind of wanted to do a guy thing, for
Yeah.
the dads. And this is just so the dads can get out. And even if, you don't get nominated or you don't want to be nominated and you just want to come out and support the cause or hang out with people, we'll have so many artists out here. And again, this reflects the whole interview thing. We'll have artists out here that are coming out and they are just, you were right about that. Artists get lost in their music. And they put all their emotion into their music, and they're actually y'all are very emotional creatures. And it's a way for you to escape your insides without escaping your insides. So I wanted to give the dads, that avenue too, as well as we did the moms, and we've got 4 different bands, and they're 4 different genres. We got Rick Graham. He's more along the country, side. Good morning, Miss LA. How are you doing? LA is the owner of LA's Midway Saloon. That is where Power Search will be tomorrow. So you guys go give
Awesome.
her a hi, a hello, and buy a beer from her.
Good morning, Miss Ella.
But that's the best way to be able to bring these guys out here and give them a chance just to relax and have a good time. And we are going to be anybody that is not a single dad. It is a charity event, so we are asking that you bring toys, a gift card, anything to get into the door. And if you can't do that, give us $5 to get into the door. You know what I'm saying? And we're kind of leaving it up to you, but we need to make sure that these dads leave with whatever. Our band members, such as Structured Sound, Mr. Morgan is going to be donating to as well to one of the families. I think Kurt and them, we have Jennifer, she is with Ascending Radius, and she has a gentleman, Bud is his name, and he has been a single dad for a very long time. He's been doing it on his own, and so we've gotten, and he's got several children. So we got their ages, their sizes. We're working on that today. So me and Jennifer will get with you guys today on that too as well.
Yeah, I think the one call out, Christina, I've done some, I work for a great company and we've done a lot of charity work and give back work. And we've worked a lot with Metropolitan Ministries in the past, and where we actually went down and fulfilled like, Toys for Tot stripes, but we'd actually pack up the stuff to give off to families, and they'd give us a list of, like what age ranges and whatever. I think the one thing that's really important to talk about is the fact that, it was like a turn on the light bulb over your head moment where there are tons of baby dolls and kids things, but we had a really, really hard time fulfilling lists for teenagers, whether it be the tweens, the teens, it was, so I would say, based on my experience, like that's something to think about when you're donating this time of year. Don't forget about the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are far from the baby doll stage.
Yes.
But they still want to have a good Christmas.
Yes.
So,
and I think that is a number. And if you can't figure it out and you don't know what to get, bring a donation. The donations will be literally given to the single dads. Everything that we get will go to them. We will be taking tips at stage for the bands, of course, so we can kind of, be a little generous for them offering us our time. We will be doing baskets and 50/50s and raffles and stuff like that. So then that way we can, help with the production team that, that Osment Entertainment provides. We have around Winter Haven neighbors that I'm not really sure if she's going to be out there for this one. I have to check with her, but she is the main sponsor of the morning show is Miss Holly Sears from around Winter Haven neighbors. I'll put her little group thing down here. So if you want to follow her, like it, share it, please do. She is a great, great person. She comes out to Osment Entertainment and helps me do this broadcast. So this programming is actually her programming, and I had never used it before. We had done like 8 interviews and I've never used the program. And she has always managed the programming for me. So like when I first started on this, it was really funny because I couldn't figure out where the comments were or how they were coming up or anything towards that nature. And it was just super hilarious because I just couldn't figure it out. But now that I've done it a little bit, I now know what I'm doing. And but she still teaches me new things each day, and it's great, and I love her, and she's awesome. And then also Paul Bryan is with Gnome Productions, and he comes out to our events, and what he does is he records the bands and then edits the videos of his recordings and sends it off to the bands for free, so they have some type of promotional, some bands that we bring in, they've never had, that stuff. They don't have that, they don't know people like that. They don't know which way to go or even the money to get there. So we bring them out, we record them. If they're at a gig or an event or Paul, I don't think he will be at the 11th event, which is at Leo's, which is our Toys for Tots event, which is this coming Sunday. And we'll have 8 or 9 bands out at that one. And that's also at Leo's Live too as well. But he will be out at that one. I don't think he'll be out at the Single Dads one. I'm not, because I think he has surgery the next day. So I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. Anywho, but he normally comes out and records and sends the bands with future stuff. And then we have a permaculturalist that comes out, Miss Danielle Kimbrell, and she is like a holistic organic gardener. So she's a part of my, I've started a small little project with our interviews, and it's called Body, Mind, and Soul. Again, to attack the, artists lose their self in music every day, and when they get on stage and they sing and they let it out, they when they get off stage, they really don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
In the transfer, like from off stage to on stage. So she is our whole goal with this is to make something to where we can, help the artist in meditation, healing, eating the right foods, and just being in touch with themselves. So then that way they're not so blah.
Yeah. It's funny because music touches people different ways. And I know when I was going through my really hard times, going out and singing or whatever always helped. But like when you felt it, there are different types of musicians. Some people are into the technicality. You'll get the diehard Van Halen fans that compare everyone to Eddie Van Halen, and I absolutely love Van Halen.
Yeah.
But I listen to music for the different. I listen to the music for how it makes me feel. I'm not one of the guys. There's other people that analyze every single word in the lyrics and what it means. Do you know what that song's all about? Nope. I like how it makes me feel when I like the catchy chorus. I like singers with tremendous voices, huge voices like Freddie Mercury or Luke Spiller from the Struts or Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, or like I listen to, when I listen, I love great guitars like Eddie Van Halen's, genius. Obviously, he's greatest in my eyes. But it just has to mean whatever it means to you is personal. It's funny. I was watching the replay of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremonies, and like to me, there was like people that went in and like, how in the hell did it take this long to get Pat Benatar in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Like, she is, to me, is like Mount Rushmore of female rockers. To me, I love
Right.
Pat Benatar. And even, my musical taste swings anywhere from, pop all the way to metal, Megadeth and stuff like that. Everything in between. I'll listen to, some of the newer country. I grew up listening. My dad was never into the Woodstock hippie, old school rock, Motown. So I grew up listening to, Smokey Robinson or Tina Turner or, the Commodores. I grew up listening to all that stuff. But, Pat Benatar said something that was really cool. I love watching interviews with musicians. But Pat Benatar, when she was giving her speech, mentioned when she first started, she said, and she was like a classically trained singer, like classically trained. You could have sang anything. She said, I would rather hit a few bad notes and sing something that means something to me than be perfect and have zero impact. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying the exact words, but that whole having meaning behind it, feeling it, believing in what you're singing, doesn't matter if it's perfect. Like I enjoy live music, anything from karaoke to major arena. I just went to a festival down in Fort Lauderdale Beach last week, a concert festival. Jack White, Muse, The Struts, Jimmy Eat World. By the way, we do one of their songs, and so I love live music, and to me, like I can go to. I know people will turn their nose up at listening to karaoke, but I don't even care if they're good. Have fun. Make it mean something to you. Like, have a blast, do whatever. Don't take it so seriously. It's and I there's people like, hey, I know you can sing. Why don't you get up there and sing? And they're like, oh, no. I'm like, who cares? You're not going to see these people ever again. It's for you. It's not for them. It's for you.
Yeah. See, okay. I'm going to touch base on that because I love to sing. But good morning, Paul. Paul Thomas with Joe's Garage Band. He's he's always at our stuff. He's a really cool guy. You should check him out. Do you have any upcoming shows, Paul? We're announcing shows on the thing today. You didn't see that post? Anyway, so yeah, but when I was little, Miss Bencher rocks.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you, Paul.
Okay. So when I was little, I hope my mother is not watching this show. My mom, God, listen, I love my mother very, very much, but she had 4 children and she would get aggravated super easily. I understand. Okay, Mom, I now understand.
Right.
But she would, and I would sing, and she would be like, Chrissy, will you shut up? Like, right? So she would shut me up, right? And so I always had like this insecurity about singing. And then when I would sing in front of people, they would, I was so nervous and they would be like, ugh. I mean, if I was in church, they thought that I was like the best thing from Patsy Cline, right? But, otherwise, no. So like when I get up in front of people, it took me a long time just to do the dreads because I felt like, everybody was so judgy. It was back to that same subject. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just, I don't want, I don't know. I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to do it next time.
Yeah.
I'll probably pee myself.
I'm a firm believer. Everyone's an in-car superstar. And like, I think the number one thing about singing is understanding what your sweet spot is. There's going to be stuff, as a singer, with and not to take anything away from the folks that don't sing and play instruments, but there's ranges, there's different technicalities. And the better you get, the more you can do with a voice, and you can stretch your range. You can train yourself, but there are limitations. You can only go so far with it. I'm not going to sing like AC/DC. As much as I love their music, you know, I will rip my voice box to shreds. To shreds. You know, I'll never sing like Whitney Houston. No, not that I'm crazy. You know, she's phenomenal, tremendous voice, but it's not my style. One, but you know, so we have some limitations. But knowing what you're gonna sing, the problem is a lot of people when they start singing, they're like, I love that song. I want to sing that song. Just because you can doesn't mean you should sometimes.
I mean, but you know, you can also
find your spot
down a different chord too. You know what I mean? Sing the song how you want to. It doesn't matter what key it's in. Paul says he loves this guy. He's spot on.
Thanks, Paul. I look forward to meeting you someday.
But yes, and he also said he's at Midway's on the 23rd. So go see Joe's Garage Band on the 23rd at LA's Midway. Again, that's off 92 and Lynchburg across from the Winter Haven Airport. But yes, I think it's very important for people to know that, you know, just you know, along the same lines as we were talking before, you know, just don't care. Just get up and do you and do what feels good. I mean, if you want to dance around in your socks and underwear and sing Whitney Houston, fucking do it.
Yeah. You know what? I grew up, you know, I always loved music. I've always loved to sing. I was a real sports guy. And so I focus mainly on sports, but I also have music in my family. My cousin, Kevin, he to quote the movie Step Brothers, he is the voice of Fergie and Jesus. He's just amazing. Like he can sing anything. And he actually in the Western Pennsylvania area, he was singing country and doing major county fairs and stuff like that. And he was actually discovered by the lead singer of Lone Star, obviously huge national country recording artist, you know, tons and tons and tons and tons of hit records. So like growing up in a family where you have someone with that level of excellence, and he actually got signed to a writing recording contract with Sony Records, moved to Nashville, actually lived with the lead singer of Lone Star for a little while until he got himself established. When you have that level, it's intimidating. It really is. No matter how much you like to sing and even if you're decent at it, like when you see that level, you're like, ooh. And so, you know, I focused on sports. I played sports all up till, you know, for 3 decades, you know, ripped up my body playing sports, hockey, football, baseball, whatever I could get my hands on. But then coming back out of it, then it was like, you know what, I just like to sing. I like to sing a lot. And there's one of my good friends, Kevin Epperson. He's in a local band over in Pinellas County named Moral Domain. He actually found me in a karaoke bar and said, "Hey, are you in a band?" Nah. And I just kind of laughed. He's like, "No, you should be. I have a band. Come over and rehearse with us a little bit." And you know, and we do covers and whatever. And I owe a lot of me getting started and giving me that push towards, you know, actually doing music. I owe a lot to Kevin, you know, Kevin Epperson. Not my cousin Kevin's an inspiration because he's, like I said, he's got the voice that anyone would kill for. But Kevin Epperson's really the one that gave me, you know, and was patient with me while I learned timing. And hey, it's a whole different story when the words aren't flashing in front of a screen for you, you know, and telling you when to start. It's a whole different ball game. So, you know, Kevin taught me a lot, and some of the other guys that, you know, other bands I've played in, my buddy Juan Humara, who's in a local punk band, played in bands with him. You know, I could go on and on with people that really helped me along here, especially, you know, like I couldn't ask for a better 3 guys to be in a band with right now than Kurt and Danny and Brent. They are phenomenal. Danny is just, our lead guitarist is absolutely just ridiculously talented. Played in a band, Summertime Dropouts. You can see their true music videos, not like recorded at some bar, like produced music videos. They just made a movie about, you know, loosely, and they took some creative liberties, and Danny will tell you that more than anything. You know, they use the names, but their music that they wrote is featured throughout the movie. And Simple Plan, you know, a national pop punk band, actually covered a Summertime Dropout song in the movie. So like, you know, it's funny because they did take creative liberties because Danny is mega intelligent and super quiet, but like his character in the movie is like this, a little bit of a goofball and outgoing, and it's like, Oh, yeah, so now the teasing's on. Hey, Danny, you sing in the movie. Why don't you have a microphone in front of you here at rehearsal? And hey, Danny, you played bass in the movie. Now we know you can do that too. And so we've had some good natured ribbing with Danny. But like I said, I couldn't ask for three better guys to be a part of this with, and they teach me things every single time we get together. I can't say enough good things about them.
Well, I think Kurt wanted us to have Danny on here too. So we'll have to get him on the morning show so we can, crack on him about singing and playing the bass too.
Yeah, Danny's a quiet one. He's our ninja. He's our silent assassin. He's just so precise with everything he does. But he subscribes to the less words is more category. He's there's me and Kurt have kind of big personalities, and we're not shy about talking in any way, shape, or form. Brent slots in the middle, and Danny, like I said, he's our ninja.
He's our
ninja.
Quiet with stealth-like skills.
Very stealth. Super stealth.
Oh, well, okay, so I want to go over the 11th, this Sunday.
Okay.
This Sunday we're doing a local Marine Corps Toys for Tots Foundation at Leo's Live on the 11th. So we got Leo has about 8 or 9 bands that are coming out. I have a list. Crow Views, Auroras, Zero Effect, Irate, Spankin' Sadie, Power Surge, Black Satin, and Lily Bong. They will all be out there for the Toys for Tots. Osment Entertainment is actually hosting the event. So I will be up and introducing each band and making you guys give us money for Toys for Tots. So very, very awesome. We will get that done. That would be really cool. I'm so looking forward to that this Sunday. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And Leo, he has put so much work into trying to get the bands all lined up and putting them in the right order and having sound out there for them. And Scott will be out there doing sound. And Leo's a really good guy. He had offered. We're actually going to be doing the interviews at Leo's Live from now on. So we will be introducing you guys to Leo, and then we will be doing the interview with him too as well. Sorry, someone's calling me.
Popular lady.
I try not to be, but I am. And the 17th, of course, the single dads thing that we had just discussed. And then the 26th, we have our interview at Leo's Live with the Silverback rock and roll band. They are like 40s, 50s, 60s, and there's this saxophonist in their band, and oh my God, he is amazing. He's the youngest one of them all. They're all older guys. They've been together for 10 years. And, that's like a damn marriage within itself. You know what I mean? And I just think it's awesome. And they're just a great set of guys. And they're really sweet and very humble set of people. And I love their music. They, it's very unique. And I have all different types of music that I like. So, I range from, my granny used to listen to Don Williams, and used to sing Don Williams at the table. And then, Patsy Cline too, as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then my mom was more like Reba McEntire, Trisha Yearwood, the 90s, the late 90s country, early 90s country. My brothers were into punk rock, so Blink 182, Sum 41. I mean, all those punk. And then I got into metal myself when I was in high school, when I was like working out. I was in ROTC and on the weightlifting team, so I got into metal when I was like working out and stuff, right? And I was an outcast. I didn't really belong to any group, I was a big girl that liked to work out and shoot shit. So, I mean, and I sang a little bit in choir. So like, it was like, it was, I went to Candlelight for 4 years in a row with Lake Region High School at Epcot and Disney.
Okay.
We sang there, and they took their top singers to it. So, I kind of like to think that I could sing maybe a little bit, but I've been a smoker for 10 years, so I'm more sure I got like that Melissa Etheridge effect now.
Right. You mentioned something there. You mentioned about, you didn't belong to any groups. And it's something that, raising teenagers, and I'm sure, your oldest is 11, my oldest is 21 and went off to college. My middle boy's 18 and a senior in high school. And what I've preached to them is it's amazing how in high school, like, other people's opinions matter, or they matter more than they should. And you got popular crowd, the sports crowd, the this, that, and the other. And it's something that I've really worked with my middle son Kieran about was, once you get out of high school, no one cares anymore. There's kids that go to college in their pajamas. They don't do their hair. They don't care. And when you leave high school, your people find you.
Yeah.
Your people find you. And it's much like when you talk about the music community, and the people that are associated with Osment Entertainment and the musicians coming together and supporting each other. And it's not a, hey, look, we're all competing for that record contract, or we're all not competing in the best of the bands. We're not all doing that. We're all supporting each other and lifting each other up. I think it's all, avenues like this, just having this morning chat, we found our people. Right. We found our people, and we thought it mattered back in high school. And so my oldest son, Caleb, went off to college, and he's like, yeah, you know what? This is chill. We all hang out. It doesn't matter where we come from. Like, no one's judging each other. And I'm like, I told you all that high school drama stuff would go away, and you're going to be in a much better place. Just give it time. Be patient with that. And, and I think that resonates with musicians and just whatever you're into. You find your people.
Yeah. That's one thing that I stress to my 11-year-old. He's all worried about, what people think of him and da da da. And, I tell him, other people are going to open up. It's okay if you like people that are, on the preppy side. It's okay if you like people that are on the goth side. It's okay if you're on the football team and the baseball team. It's okay to be a part of it all. Like, you don't have to pick and choose. You just do whatever the hell you want. And good people resign in all of those. Just because, Joe Blow is into football does not mean that I have to be into football. That's his thing. And that's cool. And I'll sit there and, have fun with Joe Blow while he's having his football thing. But I'm not going to make it my thing. And it's okay not to make it my thing. And I like, variety. I have family that I love to hang out with. Yeah. But if I told them I like to read tarot cards and play with, magic spells, they would look at me funny, Yeah. So it's important to be yourself, but it's also important to open your eyes and, see that different things are still okay.
It's truly liberating when you feel like you don't have to try to impress everybody. When you truly realize that, hey, look, I tell my kids, I'm like, I'm not for everybody. There's going to be people that like me. There's going to be people that I'm not their thing, man. That they're not into, they don't feel my energy. They don't like my personality for whatever reason. But guess what? There's people that don't like chocolate. There's people that don't like pizza. There's people that don't like, horror movies or rock and roll. There's people who don't like rock and roll, for God's sake. Like, so for that, like if there are people out there who don't like pizza and nachos and chicken wings and or steak or whatever you're into, hey, good luck to you. More power to you. That's fine. I'm doing me, and this is.
I'll take your pizza.
I'll take your pizza. I'll take your nachos. I'll take your garbage food. I'll take it.
Oh, listen, me too. My granddaddy, like, it was like, if you didn't eat was on your plate, you didn't get up from the table. Oh. You know what I mean? So like me, I'm a garbage disposal. I'll eat just about anything except for onions. That's just my thing. I don't like onions. It's weird. It tastes like
I don't like peanut butter. I've never eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What? Never. I hate peanut butter. I'll eat peanuts. I'll eat candy with some peanuts in it.
You don't like
I'll
the
eat cashews,
tastiness?
pistachios. I don't like peanut butter, and I've never. After my first taste of peanut butter, like I've never eaten a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, and so people would look at me like I have 3 heads for that. Even though your reaction was like, you've never eaten a peanut, like, you know,
I know,
I'm
but I
not,
think
I'm not going to be the president of the peanut butter fan club.
I
I'll
think
never be elected.
no. That's okay. I'll take your peanut butter sandwich. I like
Fair
peanut
enough.
butter. I think the thing is to realize it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay for you not to like peanut butter. And I think it's very important to not be so offended by somebody saying, "Oh, you don't like peanut butter? That's weird." Don't be offended by that. No,
I'm not.
I don't like fucking peanut butter. You can fucking
right.
have it. I mean, and throwing it off as like a joke and keeping the laughter alive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that, I think all in all, people should just get up to be happy.
Yeah.
You only get one damn life, right? So
Right.
why wake up mad? Like, are you going to be able to change it? Are you going to be able to like fix it? Like with it? I mean, shit happens. Roll with the punches, see
Amen
what
to that.
happens. If I cared about what everybody thought of me on this morning show or what everybody thought of me with Osment Entertainment, I mean, I was a dancer for 15 years. Okay. I literally, I have the background of a sailor. I'm an okay person. I'm not saying I'm the best at
Yeah.
at anything that I do. But my goal is to promote people so they feel, good with inside them.
Yep.
I think it's very important to let everybody see everybody be noticed. You know what I mean? It's share the fucking stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, hey, this is a new upcoming blah, 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 blah. People, you wouldn't believe the energy that was inside me when Jeffrey introduced me to a whole group of people on stage. It
Right.
made me feel so good inside. And if you could do that for each and every person that tries and puts forth an effort and notice their effort, then you would have such a big community that would want to help, that would want to come together. The artist interviews that we have, the 26th, we have Bahama Tom coming out wearing a Santa costume. We have Samantha Martin coming out wearing a sexy elf costume. She's the lead singer of Power Surge.
Okay.
Bahama Tom is a great musician. He's in several different bands and does his own thing. And then also we have Josh Pancake, who's my boyfriend. He's coming out and he's going to be wearing the Deadpool costume.
That's awesome.
Now I'm choosing for some chocolate butter pizza. Oh my god, that's so nasty. Yes, I'm calling you nasty.
Get half of it without peanut butter, Paul.
But you go right ahead
Yeah.
and eat that pizza, Paul. I will sit here and watch you. Gross. All over your face, dude. That's so gross. Hey, I bet it beats the hell out of that hot sauce hot chocolate that you had the other day. He was on our live show and his grandkids made him hot chocolate. He asked them to make him coffee and they made him hot chocolate with hot sauce. And it was great to watch him sit there and try to stomach this hot sauce, hot chocolate.
all great chefs start somewhere. So, who knows, maybe, they perfect their recipe a little bit. And next thing you know, they're the next Guy Fieri or Bobby Flay or Starbucks or whatever. Who knows?
Well, next time Grandpa comes over and watches them, I bet they know how to make coffee next time because he showed them step by step. So I bet they know. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of funny. We're running into about an hour, so is there anything else that you wanna touch base on?
Just thank you to Osment Entertainment, and you, Christina, because believing in us enough to include us in the Single Dads event on December 17th out of Leo's Live. It's a tremendous honor to be put on stage with these acts that, and the way you talk about these other musicians. I can't wait to see them. And afford us the opportunity to really give back, to do the right thing, to be a good person, have positive intent, and do what we love to do.
Yeah.
We're like, I know Kurt mentioned it, Brent mentioned it, and when you interviewed them, we're all working professional, working professionals. We all hold 9 to 5s, and we work really hard. We're all family men, love our children and everything. But it gives us the opportunity to do something for us, but it also gives us an opportunity to do stuff for other people as well. Which is, I mean, how many times do you get a chance to do that? To like
Right.
to do for others, but give back to yourself as well and your own mental well-being. It's an awesome opportunity. So thank you. We're looking forward to doing many more events with you in the future, and just enjoying music together.
Heck yeah, dude. It's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of artists out there, and, the community of it all is really all that it really boils down to, getting together and helping support these dads. And if we could, just touch base on the emotional part of it all, we all do have a 9 to 5. I mean, I am on this computer from 6:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning till, late at night. My boyfriend gets on my ass all the time because I'm like late at night and I'm still working. But I'm like, dude, do you know what band hours are? Like, I mean, because they're crazy. They have 9 to 5s. They don't talk to me during the day. So I do my important stuff during the day. And then everybody wants to talk to me at night. So, or they'll get out of a show and text me at like 3. And I'm like, and I've promoted that. I've promoted that I would be here no matter what, any time of the day, you could count on me. And I think that is the most important thing, is to, have this family of community, because we all need it so much. And when we have hard times, we should be able to call on a friend and say, hey, I can't do this, right? I need some kind of help, you know what I mean? And not being afraid to ask for it, and I think that is just really all in all of, how I wanted to have, these things. And, the single dads thing, I did the single moms thing. And, a friend of mine had reminded me, she's like, don't forget you were supposed to do single dads in Christmas. And actually I did forget, because I did single moms in July. So I didn't write it down. I was like, that's December. I'll remember. I didn't remember. And she reminded me, and I had gotten the venue for a girlfriend of mine for her wedding venue. And turns out she doesn't need it. So I was like, well, why not single dad sing? We just throw this together right now. Let's go ahead. So, and then it just started the ball rolling. And that's what I like about it is, being able to spend a day and party in music and doing it for a good cause.
Yeah.
So, if you guys would like, please come out on the 17th so you can get a good shot of Structured Sound. Also, if you are out there and you do have some upcoming gigs, the booking number for Structured Sound is down below. So you guys can call and book now. They do have open bookings for the rest, for some slots for the rest of the month. You can contact me too as well. Osment Entertainment, Christina Osment on Facebook, if you have any questions about Structured Sound, and we can get you pointed in the right direction or whatever needs to happen. You can also find them on Facebook at Structured Sound. Their little logo is an S and then a backwards S. So it's actually pretty cool. Or is it SS? Is it at? Wait.
Yeah. There's a line down through the middle of the two S's.
Yes.
Not to be confused with old school SS, which is not a positive connotation.
I was thinking about the car. What's the car that's an S?
The Super Sport.
Doesn't it have that almost same symbol?
Yeah, similar.
So
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of when I first saw it. I was like, That's cool. That's such a guy logo.
Yeah, right.
I love it. I love it.
Oozing masculinity. You know,
It's
oozing.
okay.
It's
It's
subliminal
all right.
in our logo. It's subliminal. You know, it's one of those things. It's just we let it sink in.
It's fancy.
It's a
It's
slow burn.
fancy like Applebee's on the
Oh,
date night. It's my daughter's favorite song. Oh no, she refers
yeah,
to it to everything.
right.
She'll be like Applebee's on a date night, and I think that's really the only part she really knows, except for the next part that goes an Oreo shape in whipped cream, and she mispronounces it all the way. It's really
That's awesome.
but yeah, Kurt said SS. Oh, it's not a backwards S, or is it? No, maybe not. Ah,
SS stands for superstar, and that's Kurt. Kurt's our superstar.
What's the other one?
Yeah, when she hugs herself, yeah, she's awesome.
She's like making out with the tree, and she's.
That's a funny movie. That's a funny movie.
I love that damn movie. It's great. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for coming on with me and getting to talk with you this morning. It was great having you on. And if you guys have anything or upcoming stuff that you'd like to do, tag me in it, and then we can share it on the page and do it. Promote you guys that way. I really hope that we can get, Gnome Productions out on the 17th. I'm not really sure, but if not, we definitely have that recording with our interview, which our interview is it in July? It's in July.
I believe so.
Let me see. Let me look and see.
No cookies on the Foreman grill, right?
Oh no, I am having cookies on the Foreman grill.
All right.
I am it's going to be Hawaiian barbecue with chocolate chip cookies on the George Foreman. I've already promised that because we were talking about that news. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was on Brent's interview.
Oh, yes. Listen, the dude drank 2 fists of vodka. And then
amazing he didn't put the cat on the George Foreman grill after drinking 2 fists of vodka.
It's in June on the 26th, not July, June 26th. And it will be Hawaiian barbecue with George Foreman with cookies.
Very nice. Very nice. I look forward to that.
It's going to be awesome. I'm going to make sure it's a thing. So you guys make sure you invite, people out, and any of personal friends or family that you want to invite to dinner, and let me know. We'll be taking plate numbers and stuff like that. So I'll buy you dinner, and then we'll throw you like a little party. We'll have a bartender out there. We'll also have a sound guy out there. So you'll be all taken care of, and we'll have a blast, and we'll just kind of, love music the rest of the night.
Amen to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So
right on. Well, I appreciate you having me on, Christina. It's been a lot of fun. Look forward to meeting you in person, and getting to meet a lot of the other, the folks that have chimed in the chat and the other bands. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait till the 17th.
Yes, sir. I think everybody and their mama is trying to call me this morning.
You're good at what you do. You're in demand.
All right, Sean. Well, peace, love, and chicken grease. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And wait. Tomorrow morning. What's tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning, I'm trying to think. Who do we have tomorrow morning? Do you remember? You don't remember because you didn't do it. I think it's Rich Shepherd tomorrow morning, I believe. Let me just
That name rings a bell. That
name
rings a bell based on your post.
Rich Shepherd is tomorrow morning. He is with the Bourbon Brothers. He also does a lot of different bands. He's a bassist, really cool guy. So we'll have him on tomorrow morning at 9:00.
All right.
Have a good day, sweetheart.
Thanks, Christina.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.